Good evening, and thank you for joining our news broadcast from Davis Hall. My name is Alexis Smith.
And I'm Tyler Johnson, bringing you stories relevant to IUP in the Indiana community.
Today we'll share stories about IUP's upcoming graduation in a new art exhibit.
We will also have a package about final exams.
May is Safe Biking and Walking Month in Indiana County, and there are 4 exciting events left to look forward to. On May 16th, Bike Walk or Bus to Work Day encourages locals to try alternative ways of getting to work. The fun continues on May 17th with the Bike Rodeo, hosted by the Children's Advisory Commission, to teach kids important biking skills. On May 20th, the Safe Biking, Walk, and Driving Workshop will offer safety tips for all road users. Finally, on May 30th, the Indiana Borough Walk Workers Route relaunch will highlight local walking paths. All these events aim to promote fitness and safety throughout the month while bringing the community together.
We all know that the weather here in Indiana lately has been a little bit rougher than normal. Last month alone, there were multiple days with tornadoes, high winds, pouring rain, and widespread power outages, and that's just within the last week. We've had nothing but thunderstorms, more power outages lasting more than a week. And just this past Tuesday, while power did remain on in most places, damaging hail the size of quarters rained down onto the streets Tuesday evening. And after checking cars, some people, like myself, got lucky and had no damage, while others were reporting cracked windshields, dents on trunks and hoods, and on some homes, broken windows. 2 areas were given extreme tornado warnings in both Monroe County and Pike County. While it was confirmed no one landed in those 2 counties, there was a confirmed EF1 tornado on the other side of the state.
The University Museum at IUP has partnered with the Artist Hand Gallery to present The Museum Goes Downtown, IUP Professors Past, an art exhibit celebrating the university's artistic history. The exhibit showcases works from IUP's permanent collection, featuring art created by former IUP art professors. The special exhibit is a part of the IUP at 150 celebration and highlights the lasting influence of these educators on the university's art community. The pieces on display reflect a range of creative eras and styles, showcasing bold experiments and powerful techniques. The exhibit is open to the public through May 17th. Visitors can enjoy the exhibit during regular gallery hours at the Artisan's Hand Gallery.
Pittsburgh police raided a beloved LGBTQ+ bar on Friday in the middle of a scheduled drag show featuring Amanda Leroy. Around 20 Pennsylvania state police officers and undercover agents entered the bar around 11:30 p.m., forcing patrons and staff to wait outside in the rain while they searched the building. P-Town's management said on Instagram that the raid was performed by officers from the Bureau of Liquor Control Enforcement, Fire Department, and Health Department as part of an effort to ensure establishments remain in compliance with Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board regulations. One of the issues was sparked by their license occupancy limit, which they've tried to update since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, when they renovated their space to accommodate more patrons. They added that officers acted professionally and no patrons were mistreated. An estimated 130 people were attending the event, far more than the bar's legal limit. P-Town management said that they will make a more proactive effort to obtain their updated licenses. The attendees described the surprise inspection as reminiscent of past police raids of gay establishments in the 1960s and 70s.
It's that time of year again where final exams are in full effect. Students across campus are gearing up for the biggest test of the semester. Moses Alani has the story.
As the semester is coming to an end, students prepare for final exams and projects. This is a time in the semester where most students are finishing up their studies and looking forward for summer break. I interviewed IUP student Sarah and asked how she prepares for final exams.
Usually I will go to the library in their little individual study rooms and just do study guides and everything.
Students prepare for finals by going over study guides from their classes and looking over their notes. The library is a perfect place for students to study for their final exams. It also has study hours throughout the week.
My favorite study space on campus is probably the individual study rooms in the second floor of the library.
Next, I interviewed IUP student Ethan and asked how he prepares for final exams.
Really just look over everything I did in class, look at study guides, and make flashcards on Quizlet.
His favorite study space is in the library as well.
I would honestly say the third floor of the library.
The Folger Center is having a de-stress fest on May 6th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. They will have chair massages, therapy dogs, crafts, and so much more. This program in Folgers is a way for students to unwind before final exams. This is Moses Solani, reporting for IUP News.
Still ahead on IUP News, we will have a story on beloved theme parks and a weather report of Quinlan Mulroy.
Along with national news and a package on preparation for graduation. Stay tuned.
We all have a story. It's telling those stories that matter. That's why IUP's communications program airs its own news bulletin on IUP TV and 90.1 WIUP FM with the people you know telling the stories. Here, there are new aspiring journalists ready to start their career strong. Even if news isn't your goal, there is a place here for everyone. This is IUP News, with stories relevant to IUP and the Indiana community.
We're back with IUP News. Quinlan Mulroy has our weekend weather report. What's the weather looking like, Quinlan?
Good evening, I'm Quinlan Mulroy and I've got your latest forecast. We're tracking a bit of everything in the days ahead, from cool rainy conditions to warmer sunnier skies as we head into the weekend. I'll break down what to expect day by day. Let's take a look at what's heading our way. As we move through the end of the week, the weather brings a little bit of everything. Friday will be cool and damp with rain. There's a 60% chance of showers and a high of just 59 degrees, so keep the umbrellas handy. But the weekend promises a big turnaround as Saturday brings sunshine and a high near 69 degrees. There'll be a little crisp start with the morning temps in the upper 30s. Sunday looks even better, clear skies and a high of 73 makes it perfect for outdoor plans. Monday keeps the sunshine with partly sunny skies and a high of 75. But don't get too comfortable because Tuesday brings back the chance of rain at 50%. With a high of 71 and a low of 57 degrees. I'm your meteorologist, Quinlan Mulroy. Back to you guys in the studio.
Thank you, Quinlan. Now it's time for our national news.
A veteran air traffic controller says last week's communication breakdown at Newark Liberty International Airport was not the first. Speaking anonymously to NBC News, the controller revealed it has happened at least twice since August, up to 8 or 9 times in recent months. During these incidents, controllers lost both radar and radio contact with pilots flying into one of the nation's busiest airports. The FAA did not immediately respond to the NBC's request for comment. Recordings released Tuesday by liveatc.net showed how controllers and pilots worked together to avoid disasters during the latest breakdown. The incident occurred back on April 28th, when controllers in Philadelphia's TRADCON Area C lost all communications with planes bound for Newark. The situation is now under investigation.
May 7th marked the start of new ID requirements for domestic flights. Travelers were required to have a real ID or another accepted form of identification, such as a passport. While 81% of Americans already had a real ID, some states faced appointment shortages, this making it harder for people to get one before the deadline. The Real ID law passed in 2005 after the 9/11 attacks. The law aimed to boost national security by setting stricter standards for state-issue IDs. They were used for federal purposes, including airport security. This time, the deadline was not extended. Although the law had been delayed several times before, the Department of Homeland Security stood firm on the May 7, 2025 deadline. Civil rights groups raised privacy concerns. They are worried the law could increase surveillance. Meanwhile, states scrambled to handle the surge in applications, some extending office hours to meet the demand.
Some theme park news has fans excited, while other updates are more disappointing. Universal's new Epic Universe is set to open May 22nd, while Disney World's Magic Kingdom will also add a Villains Land, generating lots of buzz. But not all news is positive, as Six Flags just announced it will fully close 2 U.S. parks at the end of the 2025 season. According to Business Wire, Six Flags America and Hurricane Harbor in Bowie, Maryland will shut down. The company said the closures are part of its ongoing portfolio optimization program. The nearly 500-acre property will be listed for sale and redevelopment. Six Flags president and CEO Richard A. Zimmerman explained that these parks are not a strategic fit with the company's long-term growth plan.
A measles outbreak that began in January has infected 702 people and killed 2 young girls in West Texas. 91 people have been hospitalized, 2/3 of them children. For the second straight week, no children in West Texas have been hospitalized, suggesting the outbreak may be slowing. Doctors say the virus may be running out of unvaccinated people to infect. There's been a slight uptick in vaccinations, and more people are staying home while sick. Still, measles cases are increasing in other states. New Mexico has 57 cases, Kansas City has 46, and Oklahoma has 17, all tied to the outbreak in West Texas. Nationwide, there have been 987 cases this year, the most since 2019. Most new cases are related to international travel, and experts believe the true number of infections is likely higher.
With graduation just around the corner, students around IUP are getting prepared for the big day. Doug Seipel and Tatum Coyle have the story.
The countdown is on for seniors at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania. From finals to last-minute paperwork, these students are checking off the final to-dos before walking the stage. Seniors have picked up their gowns, decorated their caps, and are searching for a future job. For many students, it's starting to feel real. Preparation looks different for many students. Senior Lily Wong tells us what goes into her prep for graduation.
Not only have I been applying to a ton of jobs, because obviously we're graduating and we're in the real world, I had to get a graduation dress, I had to do sorority pictures with the senior class, I had to do my own senior picture class, just getting everything ready, ordering my cap and gown, my stools, my cords, and then just getting ready for all the information about my graduation ceremony. I'm walking in the graduation ceremony next week, but I do have one summer class to finish up, so as I'm doing that, I'm going to be doing an internship, and then after that I'm going to be working within the fashion industry. Okay, I'm gonna not try and cry because I've been crying the past month, but I think my favorite thing that I'm just gonna miss is just living in my sorority house. I've been there for 2 years. It's called Pixie, and I got to live there with my closest friends last year who all graduated, and then I got to live there this year, my senior year, with my other closest friends too.
Between the checklists and the chaos, this moment is just as real for senior Nate Myers.
Talking with my family, getting invites out, getting all my last classes wrapped up, and getting my cap and gown and everything, and just getting ready for the day. I like to stay local if I can, working in safety science, but I mean, if I find something else good out of state, I wouldn't mind going somewhere with some nicer weather. Definitely hanging out with all my friends, always everybody being around. I think I'm definitely gonna miss that the most about college.
With less than a week left, seniors are taking in every last moment, whether it be attending their scheduled senior bar crawl, wrapping up their classes, or taking senior pictures. As graduation approaches, seniors are not just prepping for a ceremony, they're prepping for a major life shift. And while the future may be uncertain, one thing is clear: they'll never forget where it all began. The graduation ceremony at the Indiana University of Pennsylvania will take place Saturday, May 10th, starting at 8:30 a.m. and ending at 3:30 p.m. It's encouraged graduates, family, and friends attend. Congrats to the seniors of 2025. This was Doug Seipel and Tatum Coyle reporting for IUP News.
When we come back, we'll have international news and a story about internships. Please stay tuned.
Welcome to a place where opportunities abound, where students have the option to study healthcare in places all around the world, and thousands learn beyond the classroom every year. Welcome to the Oak Grove at IUP. Students here go out in the field to measure biodiversity, and even the Virgin Islands to study sustainability. Ready to pursue a real-world opportunity that brings your passion to life? Get in the Grove at IUP.
India initiated dozens of strikes on Pakistani targets. The fighting broke out from the conflict between India and Pakistan over the occupation of the Kashmir territory. India attacked 9 targets associated with Pakistan. These attacks were committed when 26 people were killed by terrorists in Pahalgam. India launched Operational Sindoor missile strikes that were meant to hit terrorists in Pakistan, occupy Jammu and Kashmir. The strikes caused power to go out, reducing communications and basic needs for people living in the areas that were hit. Pakistanians vowed to strike back against India after the attacks. This begins a conflict between two nations that have a long history of tension with each other.
After nearly 2 years, Israel under Benjamin Netanyahu, the war continues to exist in Gaza. Netanyahu claimed that taking a land in Gaza owned and inhabited by Palestinians. In the final moves to defeat the Hamas, Israel has been refusing ceasefire deals to free the hostages, instead supporting the war in full force. About 56% support and to the fighting. Many of the families of the hostages have criticized the war hawk attitude of Netanyahu. For the people of Gaza, a humanitarian crisis has caused mass starvation for children and families. Israel has also forced displacement of about 1 million Palestinians.
On Saturday, the 3rd of May, Australian voters chose to re-elect the Labour Party to win the majority of seats in Parliament. The current Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, was re-elected, beating opposition Liberal and National Coalition candidate Peter Dutton. The major campaign issues revolved around cost of housing and living, and the Labour Party promised to build about 1 million homes to reduce cost. The Conservatives focused more on building nuclear reactors. While both parties supported defense spending, the victory of the Labour Party is considering a historical comeback for Labour. While it might not be likely to have as big of an impact, the fear of right-wing figures and policies like Trump likely helped the Labour Party to win.
College students across the country are racing to secure internships, hoping to gain real-world experience before graduation. Tyler Lippard and Tyler Johnson have the story on IUP's internship program.
Internships are more than just a resume booster. They're often the first real step into a career. At IUP, communications media students are getting hands-on experience long before graduation. Communication media courses focus on real-world skills, from video and radio production to media writing and live broadcasting, all designed to give students a professional edge. That preparation is paying off. Many seniors say the projects and technical work they've done in class directly help them land internships. I asked Carson Zadroga, a senior in the program, on how his coursework gave him a head start into getting into his internship.
Helped me get my position is making sure that in the interview I do talk about the skills that I have, and talk a good amount of my experience. Like I was even told by my internship supervisor that the reason I got my internship was because I mentioned I worked in live production.
The hands-on nature of the program allows students to build their portfolios while still in school, making them stronger candidates when it's time to apply. Faculty and staff also play a big role, helping students connect with internship opportunities, polish their resumes, and prepare for interviews. Dr. James Lenz, who is overseeing the internship program and is now retiring from IUP, has given us a little bit of insight on the internship process.
The internship process starts with COM 400. So once a student reaches junior or senior year, they can sign up for COM 400, in which they learn how to look and how to obtain an internship or a job by writing cover letters, resumes, finding references, developing a portfolio. Once that's done, the student that's always in the fall semester, the student then has the spring semester to actually search for an internship. And that primarily falls on them, but we do provide assistance. And they can come in for office hours and we'll sit down and we'll ask them questions like, geographically, where do you want to live? And what kind of work do you want to do? And sometimes students know the kind of work they want to do, but they don't actually know the job title that they're looking for. So we try to help them find those job titles, find those jobs, search through the resources. The student then has to apply. They have to write the cover letter, they have to send the resume, the reference list, they have to get the interview, and they have to go through the interview process, which we do train them to do in COM 400. But
from editing news packages to operating studio cameras, students say their classes give them the confidence to thrive in real-world media environments. For IUP TV News, this has been Tyler Lippert and Tyler Johnson.
Still ahead on IUP News, we'll have a sports report with Julia Lathan.
And we'll finish off with entertainment news. We'll be back soon, so don't go anywhere.
We're all searching for opportunity, a challenge. Here, asking what if, what's possible, is the mindset. Welcome to the Oak Grove at IUP, where big-time research opportunities are for the many, not just the few. And world-renowned professors ignite ambitions. Search here, and there's no telling how far you'll grow. Get in the Grove at IUP.
We are back with IUP News Sports Edition. Julia Lathan has the latest. What's new in sports, Julia?
Hello and welcome to IUP News Sports Edition. I'm your reporter, Julia Lathan, bringing you everything new and upcoming from the world of sports. Let's start with our local teams. The IUP baseball team continues their playoff games, while the women's tennis team has some exciting news. They've been named the second seed and hosts for the upcoming tournament. They'll be hosting the opening round of the 2025 NCAA Division II Atlantic Region Tournament. IUP will be facing Bloomsburg on Monday. This will be the first time the teams have played each other in 11 years. Moving over to the NBA, the semifinals continue. Tonight, the Cleveland Cavaliers and the Indiana Pacers face off, as well as the Oklahoma City Thunder and Denver Nuggets. On Saturday, it's the Boston Celtics versus the New York Knicks, followed by the Minnesota Timberwolves taking on the Golden State Warriors. In the WNBA, preseason is still underway, with the regular season tipping off next Friday, May 16th. In horse racing news, there will be no Triple Crown winner this year. Sovereignty, the horse that won the Kentucky Derby, will not race in the Preakness Stakes. And finally, plenty of MLB games are happening this weekend, with the Pirates facing off against the Braves tonight and tomorrow. That's going to wrap up this week's sports report. I'm Julia Lathan, and we'll be back next fall. Over to you, Alexis.
Thank you, Julia. Now it's time for our final stories of the day on recent entertainment.
The extremely popular franchise Grand Theft Auto 6 game, GTA 6, has been rescheduled to come out May 26 of 2026. GTA 6 is an action-adventure open-world game developed by British-American studio Rockstar Games. The game is set in a fictional version of Florida and Miami about a duo criminal couple. The game was hyped up for several years. Only last year was the first trailer for GTA 6 was released. That trailer broke records on YouTube for the most first-day views for a non-music video. The game was going to come out this year, 2025, but got delayed. When GTA 6 comes out, it will likely break records, since the previous games, GTA 5, is currently the second highest-selling game of all time.
The 2025 Met Gala celebrated the Black fashion and style at the Metropolitan Museum of Art on May 5th. This year's theme, Superfine Tailoring Black Style, honored the history of Black dandyism and self-expression through tailoring. The dress code Tailor for You inspired stars to showcase bold, personalized suits and menswear. Co-chairs included Anne Wintour, Coleman Domingo, A$AP Rocky, Pharrell Williams, and Lewis Hamilton, and honorary chair LeBron James. Highlights of the night included Rihanna debuting her third pregnancy in a custom Marc Jacobs look. Actor Damson Idris launched his jewelry line, Didris. Designers like Christopher John Rogers, Maximilian Davis, and LaQuinn Smith dressed many attendees. Their looks were tailored creations that created Black creativity. The blue carpet completed the night's celebration of elegance, culture, and individuality.
Travis Scott's Jack Boys 2 gears up for a monumental launch amid global hype. Travis Scott is orchestrating a grand return for his Cactus Jack collective with the highly anticipated release of Jack Boys 2, the sequel to the 2019 chart-topping compilation. Slated for release this year in 2025, the album is already generating significant buzz through a series of strategic teasers, high-profile collaborations, and immersive multimedia experiences. The rollout of Jack Boys 2 has been nothing short of cinematic. In March 2025, Scott officially announced the project by projecting the phrase, "What the bleep is we doin'?" Jack Boys 2 on the way, onto a building in Hong Kong. This was followed by a dramatic performance at Miami's LIV nightclub, where he reiterated the album's impending arrival. The promotional campaign continued with a visually striking trailer directed by the Harmony Korine, known for his work on the original Jack Boys cover art. The trailer, released on Scott's 34th birthday, featuring new tracks like Kick Out and Dumb, both of which debuted during his Coachella 2025 set. Adding to the album's momentum, Scott's Cactus Jack brand has partnered with FC Barcelona for the iconic El Clasico match against Real Madrid on May 11, 2025. Scott is also set to perform an exclusive show in Barcelona the night before the match.
We finally want to thank our wonderful seniors for all the work they have done.
We want to thank Malik Turner, Moses Olani, and Carson Zadroga for their contribution to IUP News.
So guys, what would you say that the best moment of your college experience was?
I would probably say working with the crew. Everyone here was great. It was so fun to work with everyone. It was awesome. making the script, maybe even messing things up. That was sometimes fun as well. But yeah.
For me, I would say working with everyone. Yeah, working with everyone in this class, working on the scripts, getting to know others, and basically connecting, making connections with others that will last.
For me, it was just being able to understand that script writing wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I actually had fun writing and understanding the process and everything in it, so that was my fun piece.
All right, thank you guys, and I appreciate you coming up here. That's going to do it for us today at IUP TV News in association with IUP News and students looking for careers in the communications field. This is our last news program for this semester. My name is Alexis Smith.
And I'm Tyler Johnson. We will be back here next semester. Be sure to follow our Instagram page at IUP_news and our YouTube channel at IUP News 4207. Please take care and have a safe weekend.